let's run through Raw real quick. We had women's title match. We had Strowman taking on Mark Henry, Owens and Jericho's the Friendship Festival, Samoa Joe interview with Michael Cole, and then Sami Zayn took on Rusev. Enzo and Cass took on. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Enzo took on Cesaro, and I'm sure I'm missing some stuff. But let's. I'm sorry. What else?
They had some cruiserweight match.
Oh yeah, the cruiserweights were sprinkled in there as well. Yeah, I didn't mention that, man. So let's jump into the three things that were really major on Raw last night. And one was being Samoa Joe and his interview with Michael Cole. I thought it was a great interview. Samoa Joe looks like a straight assassin right now. Cold-blooded killer.
Destroyer.
Yeah, definitely. Cold-blooded killer. Looks like an assassin, like a hitman, a guy that you would call to take someone out. And that is definitely kind of what Samoa Joe is right now.
Now, did you watch TNA when he was kind of like their assassin a little bit with Main Event Mafia?
He kind of reminds me of the Main Event Mafia. I didn't really watch TNA too much back then when he was part of them. But he does look like a Mafia type.
Yeah, he wasn't really. He was more like their assassin, and that's what he was. Yeah. I mean, that's what it kind of dressed in the suit and all that. Kind of, I love the interview too. How they did the whole "I'm Triple H is the creator," like they mentioned again. I'm just his destroyer.
Right, and I
it's kind of, it's like that whole thing. How you mentioned that, I love that.
Yeah, and I loved it when he kind of called Cole out and was like, I've been hearing a lot of Triple H talk and not a lot about me, and I love that part. And then let's get to the nitty-gritty part, to where it looks like he is now moving on to a different storyline, different feud now, and he's going to go after Sami Zayn. He mentioned Sami Zayn in the promo or the interview with Michael Cole, basically kind of calling, like, I guess, a loser. He said he's no Sami Zayn. So basically calling Sami Zayn a loser.
Call him a loser. He said he's not going to be like Sami Zayn, just happy to be here.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right. That makes more sense, yeah. So,
but if you guys don't watch NXT, I mean, I'm sure people on here do, but, man, they had a phenomenal match on NXT. Had 2 out of 3 falls that lasted the whole hour of NXT. I mean, that match is awesome. Just thinking about the type of matches they could have at Fastlane, I mean, oh, man.
Yeah, and it's going to be at Fastlane where, it's not for sure yet, but it looks like that maybe they'll be facing each other at Fastlane because Samoa Joe attacked Sami Zayn after his match with Rusev. Rusev gets a loss. Looks like Rusev is in no man's land. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see.
Good match, too. It was really long.
Yeah, it was a good match, and I'm curious to see what they have in store for Samoa Joe. Next big news of the night was Owens and Jericho. The friendship finally split up. Fortunately, it happened early. I didn't think it happened so soon.
I know, I agree with you on that, because it seemed like they did it too soon, because he still has a title match. Why not wait till he loses the title and then do something like that?
Right. I figured Kevin Owens was going to blame Jericho for him losing the title, and that's how the breakup was going to happen. But it happened in a different way. And
maybe
how it's going to end up, where shows Triple H calling for Kevin Owens to have like a meeting with him, and he didn't want Jericho. He just wanted Kevin Owens. So that's, I'm thinking, what led up to this breakup. And
yeah, I completely agree. I mean, they do have a long history. I mean, Jericho and Triple H have a long history. And you want to look back on the WWE, they have a long, long history to get.
Either that, or he could have told Kevin Owens, this is just me throwing notes off the top of my head. Right now you look like a joke as a champion.
Yeah, it's time to drop the whole funny haha gimmick and start getting, because I think Triple H is setting up a little team though right now. I really do. With like Jericho Owens.
You got Samoa Joe, you got Kevin Owens. I do not think Kevin Owens is going to retain the title though, but it's definitely
I
interesting.
hope he does.
Jericho and Owens split up. But what did you think of the whole friendship festival, the whole gimmick, the party, um, the way the way Owens turned on Jericho?
Gilbert, that Gilbert whole thing was funny. I mean, you could kind of see it coming. You really could see the whole Gilbert thing coming. He's like, this would be great if they just did like Gilbert, and then they kind of did a version of the whole sparklers, but a little bit like they used to. But yeah, it was funny.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was it was funny. I mean,
The spot was good. The Gilbert spot was good.
and he got a decent pop too, which I was surprised because a lot of people probably don't even remember that. I was surprised they got the pop of that. I mean, I'm like, whoa. But yeah, the whole thing was pretty funny. It was interesting. I mean, but the whole time though, you could see something was kind of off with Owens the whole time coming down. So he sold it really well, like how it seemed like something was coming. You know, like something was going to happen. And then the Jericho is great. I mean, the way he did this, the whole he's open. Here's my gift. He opens it. It's like, oh, it's a new list, and then he pulls out like, why is my name on it? And then he holds it up, and it's just like, that was just great. I mean, Jericho has such great comedic timing, and then just perfect how they did that whole setup. And
Yeah.
like you said last night on Twitter, I mean, very similar to Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels as the Rockers when you think they're reuniting at the barbershop, and then Shawn throws his face to the glass. So yeah, it was very similar to that.
Yeah, a lot of people were also saying it was similar to when Jericho threw HBK to the TV, and like Karma's coming back
I think
too.
he like busted Michaels' face open, didn't he, with that?
Yeah, he busted him open. Yeah, it was I loved that part. It was great. It was Jericho when he, like I said on Twitter, when Jericho finally retires from the WWE, retires from wrestling, it's going to be a sad day because that man
Yeah.
is going to be truly missed. You don't actually understand how good Jericho is until he leaves and then he comes back and he reinvents himself. And I'll even admit, like when he came back with the whole Punk feud, it was good. Then it kind of went stale and he kind of lost his spot. And then now it's just like, man, he is just all over.
Back with the whole jacket thing, it was kind of like, okay, it was kind of, it was okay. It wasn't nothing great, but when he started doing like these last few months, or this last 4 or 5 months, especially, with the whole list,
Yes.
I mean, drink it in, man. I mean, that was the stuff he's been doing lately, has just been freaking awesome. I mean, it sucks because the list and stuff is probably going away now because that's like the greatest thing right now. That's probably the biggest thing right now, like in WWE marketing right now, because the list is so popular. Everyone's using it right now, everywhere.
Yeah,
social media, everywhere. Using that. I mean, it's crazy.
Jericho was hospitalized, everything like that. So curious to see if he's on Raw next week, and maybe Kevin Owens maybe explains himself a little bit more. I'm sorry.
I bet you Jericho's gone for a while, for at least a couple weeks, because he might have to go do something else too right now. Because I know we got the tour coming up after WrestleMania, so he might have to be getting ready and needed a few weeks off to do something else because he's been since last year at after the Rumble. I mean, he's been there every day since the Rumble last year. So
yeah, so it will be interesting to see what they do next week, and maybe Kevin Owens kind of explains himself why he did what he did, and so on and so forth. So let's move on from that. We had Braun and Mark Henry. Not so much. I mean, talking about Strowman looks strong again. Reigns gets involved. Next week we'll see Strowman versus the Big Show. They're just throwing big guys at Strowman now to try to show how powerful Strowman is.
I really disagree with Big Show and Strowman on a random episode of Raw. I mean, I get there's still a while to go for Mania, and but I think this should be like a pay-per-view match. Everyone thought they were building Strowman up to take on Big Show, and that's what they were doing. And then, I mean, it's gonna look weird. I mean, it's not as bad as if Big Show loses to him on a Monday Night Raw, which who knows, he might not lose. It might be a disqualification or something, but I mean, just because he's going to take on Shaq, I guess, at WrestleMania, so you really don't want Big Show losing on a big pay-per-view. Do it early enough, and then people will forget about it, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I guess so because there's no. I think we all could probably figure out that Roman Reigns will somehow get involved in this match either after the match or maybe gets helps Big Show maybe pull off a victory somehow. I don't maybe see Braun losing. He hasn't lost yet, and
I mean, or like I didn't mean if he's gonna lose. I just mean like a DQ or something, you know.
Like I don't want Strowman to lose at all, and I think the thing is like I'm worried. He's gonna.
Yeah, I think he is losing too.
Appreciate all the hearts. This is Get the Tables podcast, episode number 46. We are live every Tuesday night after SmackDown Live. Ed, I owe you on your giveaway. And I have slacked so hard on that giveaway, man. I apologize on that. Thank you.
Crazy what they're doing, I mean, it really is because they do this all the time though with their big monsters. You can go back to Kozlov, Vladimir Kozlov, even when he was just so over a dominant monster, and then eventually he takes that loss, that big loss, that hurts his career, and they never get back.
Yeah,
and he was teaming with Santino and doing dance-offs, I believe.
Yeah.
And he was like a after that. I'm just afraid. I hope they don't do that to Strowman. They did it to Kane, too. They did it to Big Show, where they were dominant monsters and turned them into jokes. I mean, the only person they never did that to was The Undertaker. It was the only person that never happened to.
Right. So
out of all the big men.
It'd be interesting to see if one of them loses, how they're going to lose. That's the number one thing. So that's
right there. Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that match will be booked. So that's going to be one interesting thing going into that pay-per-view. All right, last thing to talk about on Raw before we head to SmackDown Live was the women's title match. We had Bayley versus Charlotte for the women's title. We had Bayley win the women's title over Charlotte. We had what's her face get involved. Dana Brooke got involved. We had Sasha Banks end up getting involved, kind of helping Bayley end up winning. So Bayley wins the title. Do you think possibly Stephanie McMahon maybe strips Bayley of the title for Sasha Banks getting involved into the match? Or
I think if she was – oh, go ahead.
Or do you think they're just going to wait until have the rematch at Fastlane?
I think if she was going to strip her, she would have came out and did it last night. I mean, they wouldn't have waited this long to do it. But I think she's going to get a rematch. I don't think she's going to strip her because I think if she was going to do that, it would have done happen. It would have heard something even over social media about, something like that. They would have done like breaking news. Stephanie strips her of the title. We would have heard something like that. But I think it's going to be a rematch at Fastlane. It's going to be, like I told you earlier, it's going to be probably the same thing where Charlotte wins the title back again. And I mean, that's why people are kind of getting negative about Raw too. Like I noticed Road Dogg tweeted out about people tweeting 3 hours of negativity and all that. Well, we're getting kind of sick of the same stuff over and over.
Right. Oh, well, here's the thing. Like I was looking at it right here. If Bayley held the title till Fastlane, it'd be from now Valentine's Day to March 5th. Which is not that bad of a run. It's about a 3-week run, maybe 2.5 week run. Not the greatest run, but something that would truly be interesting that they do have her drop it again. Could they maybe have her drop it again on a Raw instead of a pay-per-view? Or maybe have Charlotte have her rematch on a Raw instead of a pay-per-view? Or always a
possibility. I mean, that would be more interesting. Don't have a women's, but you might hurt it. But maybe not. I'm just saying, if they didn't have the women's title match at Fastlane and waited and had it at WrestleMania, I think that would be more interesting. Have Charlotte match.
Charlotte could win the title at Fastlane, and she could always lose it again before WrestleMania, which I don't think would happen. I just hope. I think we can both agree with this before we move on to SmackDown. Is that we don't want it to be. Yes, SmackDown was very good. We don't want it to be another hot potato between Bayley and Charlotte. You know, I think Bayley won the title a little bit early. I think they could have waited it till WrestleMania. But apparently they're going to be in her home city next week, so I guess that was maybe a little bit of a reason. I don't know. Also, I think you could have had Sasha turn on Bayley too. That would have been a little bit interesting as well. But we didn't. We had Bayley win. Happy for her. She deserves it. See how long she holds it for. Because, like everybody knows, Charlotte has won it, 3 times already? Twice, 3 times. And
said she's had the title 4 times. So if she does win it back at Fastlane, she'll be a 5-time champion.
And she's undefeated on pay-per-views and title matches. So, the odds are against Bayley right now. I thought Sasha was going to turn. I did too. I thought she was going to turn on Bayley last night, but she did not. So
people for like a Bayley versus Sasha at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I do too, but I just don't. I think it's going to be some kind of triple threat.
Again,
Sasha is still going to turn. Now I think we all can agree on that. Just win. Maybe at Fastlane she turns. That could be if Charlotte won because Sasha turned on Bayley. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, like tonight. Oh, is that someone who asked you that?
No, I'm asking you that. Would you be all right? Because we don't want the title to be flip flopping back and forth. But if it was because Sasha got involved and cost Bayley the title,
or do you think is Bayley gonna have a problem with it? How she won it, and next week is she gonna come out and say, "Well, you know what, Sasha, I appreciate the help, but I really did not want to win the title that way."
Yeah, well,
Bayley could have a problem with that.
Go that route. I mean, they could go that route if they wanted to.
And Bayley might want to give her an automatic rematch, and say, "Here's Charlotte, let's do this again tonight, next week," just because she doesn't want to be champion like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do something like that.
So there's a lot of interesting things that, even though Raw wasn't, 100% great, it still left you with some questions, like with Charlotte wins by DQ or count out or something at Fastlane, maybe then wins the title back at WrestleMania. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's possible. Bayley won the belt too early. Yes, I think she won it too early as well. But,
Cole did that, like, her dream is finally, I mean, yeah, but wouldn't something like that have been better at WrestleMania?
Yeah, with the fireworks popping and going off in the background and all that in the crowd crazy. But
even if it would have been hometown next week, that might have been a little better, but
yeah, and the thing was with Raw, even though it wasn't the greatest Raw in the world, it still left you with a lot of questions. And it leaves you with a little bit of some intriguement for next week. With Kevin O, Raw does. We know Raw is not the greatest. Raw sucks. We know Raw is not SmackDown or NXT, and it's tough. It is tough to watch at times. But
I mean, we start off Raw. Your first match being Kofi Kingston versus Bo Dallas. It's going to be a long night. I mean, that's your first match.
No, not fully on Raw either. So that was a bit of. I think when Foley's on, it's a little bit better. But
wait, I take that back. It was Reigns versus the Club, and then they did Bo and Kofi sometime in the night. I remember, but yeah,
Raw is sometimes tough to watch the whole 3 hours.
It's a long time.
Yeah, Kevin and Jericho is going to have at WrestleMania. The match the treatment is, what did Triple H say to Kevin Owens? What is their alignment? What is going to happen between Triple H and Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens? The title matches, what's going to happen next week? That's the only really question we have is right now. Right now, other than that, Raw pretty much. Other than that, kind of is bleh. And it hurts. And earlier, it doesn't help Raw that they don't have two of their best guys on Raw, which is Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. They don't have those guys on.
Is that fair to call? I know Balor is good, but a lot of fans, like, we know he's really good, but a lot of the casual Money Raw fans who don't watch NXT,
Finn Balor is very popular. I think he's very popular, and he's very much missed. He's very much missed. He hasn't been.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm saying to the average fans who don't watch NXT, who didn't watch him all those years, do they consider Finn Balor like missed as like they do Seth Rollins?
I would think so. He's been gone, or he's been gone forever. It seems like so.
I agree with you, yes, but I'm just saying we haven't really got to see Finn Balor really on Monday Night Raw, and that's why it's just like, you really want to see him because you know how good he is.
Yeah, and you want him back, and hopefully we'll get him back, and you get him in some different storylines as well. So, yeah, that's one important to full
is his own little team, because Joe mentioned in that interview, he says it's about loyalty, and Triple H is kind of using guys who are loyal to him, and Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe were two guys he brought in, and the two loyal guys would be loyal to him. I mean, who else is out there that would be loyal to Triple H? That'd be Finn Balor. Finn Balor would be another guy who would be loyal to Triple H.
Yeah, so we'll see what they do if they do actually make a faction. Yeah, we know he got hurt. I don't know if he's talking to us about Finn Balor now. We know all that. Let's move on to SmackDown Live, which SmackDown Live was popping tonight. It had a pay-per-view feel to me tonight, or at least the main event.
Yes.
We'll run through a couple of things that I wrote down tonight. I think it might be the whole thing of SmackDown. They spent today rehabbing together. Yeah, Balor and Rollins. Yeah, I saw that picture. We had a tag match. We had Corbin and Ambrose, Mickie James, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, and in the triple threat. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. The match,
did you say that?
Mickie James?
And Becky?
Yes, I did. Ascension versus American Alpha. That match wasn't bad. We had Usos after the match kind of call out American Alpha.
That segment ended weird, though. You thought someone was going to, and then all of a sudden they cut to something else, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it looked like they were waiting for the Usos to come out, and they never did. It was like kind of moment. I thought I was waiting for because of how they said, if you feel something back, it's Uso. I figured they were going to attack him from the back. They were going to attack him, but they didn't. So
that's kind of odd transition. Yeah, that was okay.
At least they're getting all the tag, or at least some of the tag teams, in some type of a storyline, and they're not making like the Usos irrelevant, where you don't even see them on TV for a while. You know what I mean?
Team. I mean, really, other than American Alpha and the Usos, are really the only legitimate tag team. I mean, yes, they made the Ascension look good tonight, yes, but I think the Ascension should have won tonight. But
yeah, why not have the Ascension win? I don't know.
I mean, push them a little bit. I mean,
unless they're going for them to feud again with the Usos, I don't understand why they couldn't have the Ascension win tonight.
WWE Creative even tweeted the Ascension is being booked like they're leaving for WCW or something.
Yeah, I just didn't understand that. Moving on to, we'll get to the matches, we'll move on to Naomi and Alexa Bliss. Naomi was getting interviewed by Renee Young, who mentioned to the fans that Naomi picked up an injury during the match, and she said she didn't even notice it until she went back into the hotel and saw that I guess her knee was swollen or whatever. Did she mention what kind of injury she actually had?
How does anything? I mean, it's
she had a brace on her knee, but I don't think she mentioned why she was or what was wrong with her.
If she really is injured, props to WWE. I didn't hear nothing about it. I mean, she must have not said nothing to nobody. I mean, because usually you hear something about this or breaking news or something like that. So-and-so is injured, and it's been 2 days.
She said she didn't know that she was hurt until she went back to the hotel, so she probably
I don't I be okay though, because otherwise I think they would have done more with it if she wasn't going to be okay.
Right. Well, Alexa Bliss did come down and she threw out another epic promo. I mean, Alexa Bliss, my goodness gracious, man. If it's not Charlotte the best heel, it's Alexa Bliss, man. She is fire, man. It's probably a fake injury, maybe, possibly it could be. But the way she came off as it like, fuck, man. I won the title and I'm hurt now. What are the odds?
It's not funny, but it's ironic. It seems like every time she's about to get this mega push, she gets hurt. It seems like something like that every time. And it's frustrating. I feel bad for her because Just like we talked about this Sunday night. I mean, it seems like it's good for her because every time she was about to get a push, she got injured, and then all of a sudden we find out tonight she's probably injured. I don't think they would say she was injured if she wasn't.
Well, how they have the storyline of when they're hurt, they're really not. Kind of like the Sasha Banks kind of injury kind of stuff. Hey, hi from Ireland. How you doing? But
though, and that's different. It's been played off as a TV storyline injury. This was just came off like, okay, I'm having my leg. Maybe there's something wrong with her leg, and maybe she'll be back by WrestleMania, like she said. That's over a month away. And Seth Rollins having surgery, and he's supposedly coming back for WrestleMania.
Right. Well, see, the thing is, and I liked how Alexa Bliss said she threw down a challenge. Next week, she said, either you have the match with me, or if not, you give me the title. So it's going to be interesting to see if Naomi actually wrestles a match, which I think she will. I think she's going to end up wrestling and probably losing.
Or if she even wrestles, I don't know. I mean, she might just have to be forced to forfeit the title.
Yeah, she may have to, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week. Also, next week on SmackDown Live, we're going to see Natalya take on Nikki Bella in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Is that a first for the women's? I don't think so, but it might be. I was expecting to say have them in a cage match. Fuck it, have them in a Hell in a Cell match. Why the hell not?
I mean, we just seen a cage match, so I can see why not. But I mean, a Falls Count Anywhere match. I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how crazy these two. Because to give them credit, it's been a good feud, and they've been going at it. They've been giving each other pretty. Texas Kid, shut the fuck up, man. You're so hateful toward Nikki Bella, so it's like you don't have any say in this.
Yeah, but I think even though he did say that, I think it is going to end because I think they're going to go into a Maurice and Nikki storyline next.
It's going to end next week because I think he said this is the final match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he said, "I'm done. You guys won't fight in the ring, so fight wherever you want." Yeah, but yeah. It seemed like they're moving towards a Maurice, and which I would like. We talked about Sunday night. I don't remember if you said you would. I'm sure you would like it too. But I mean, Justin would both say how we can't wait to see like Maurice get back in the ring and wrestle again. That'd be awesome.
John Cena has a playing good line. Yeah. So yeah, we have that next week. I forgot to mention Teddy Long going into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Teddy Long. He will be going into the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is actually looking pretty stacked this year.
Angle, Rock and Roll Express, Teddy Long.
Yeah, Angle, Rock and Roll Express, Teddy Long. Another rumor is DDP. That's another rumor going around, which I thought he was already in the Hall of Fame, which is crazy.
He introduced Jake a year or so ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, you know who else should be in the Hall of Fame? Owen's not in the Hall of Fame yet, is he?
No, Owen's not. Another rumor is Rick Rude. That's another rumor going around that Rick Rude will finally get into the Hall of Fame. Another guy who's more than deserving to get in there. I'm sorry?
Why is he not in the Hall of Fame, Rick Rude?
Yeah, I don't know. So hopefully this year he will be going in.
Out there who should be in the Hall of Fame weren't even in the Hall of Fame from the Attitude Era or even the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, it's crazy that all of Triple H's
here we go. Ed said, breaking news on Talking Smack Battle Royal next week for the #1 contender to face Bray at WrestleMania.
So they're not – what?
Because Randy Orton said as long as he's following Bray, he's not going to face him for the title. Does that mean Randy Orton's going to be in the battle in the final 4-way? Because what if he win? Like that's the thing. If he wins it, then what the fuck are they going to do then?
Though. So why would it matter? Why would he be in it if he's already the #1 contender?
I mean, right? I mean, I don't know. This is interesting. This is definitely. Bam Bam Bigelow. What was the point of Randy winning the Rumble? Right. Yeah. Right.
I mean, I think. Okay, people just relax. I think eventually they're just doing this to kill time. I think honestly, it's gonna be Randy and Bray. Don't worry, it's gonna be Randy and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
It's something. No. You know what could happen though? If Luke Harper is in place in this fatal 4-way, I could see Luke Harper winning. And it may not. Luke Harper and versus Duke. Okay, honestly, everybody in here, Do you honestly think Bray Wyatt is going to main event WrestleMania? Be the last match?
No. I wish. It's going to be Brock and Goldberg.
It's going to be Brock and Goldberg. So, would you mind seeing Bray Wyatt take on Luke Harper for the world title at WrestleMania?
Yeah,
I would not mind that. Maybe if somehow triple threat, maybe.
Yeah, I actually hope it doesn't happen because I think Bray deserves a longer run than just a transitional champion for a month.
Right, I do think Bray needs to hold it longer than a month. I don't want him to lose it at WrestleMania, no doubt.
I don't either. He deserves to have this whole like tonight. Look at the crowd how they reacted tonight to him. I mean, it was
Bray isn't main event worthy. Man, how.
Oh my gosh.
Before we get to Bray and all that, let's finish off SmackDown Live. We had Corbin and Ambrose again. Ambrose looking for Corbin. Pretty much interacts with what's his face? Ellsworth. Kind of says some mean stuff to Carmella. Carmella gets offended. Pretty much sets up a match between him and Ellsworth. But before the match can happen, Corbin attacks Dean Ambrose again. I saw on Twitter that you said you're loving this rivalry.
Yes. I love how they're doing it. Corbin is being booked perfectly right now. First, they're confusing the hell out of you. Make up your damn mind. Is Corbin a face or a damn heel? Make up your damn mind with him already. Because first, he's going after the Miz. Even in the chamber, he looked like a face because I want the Miz. He wants the Miz. And then all of a sudden, they switch him back where now him and Ambrose are having an awesome feud. Honestly, I know this is kind of weird saying Rollins is hurt, and I never really liked Reigns anyway, but I think Ambrose is right now, even though one of them's injured, is probably the best Shield member right now. I mean, he has been hot ever since the draft. I mean, ever since after the draft brand split, he's been the hottest out of the Shield.
Yeah, winning world title, IC title.
I mean, look at that. I mean,
he's always in a main storyline feud or something.
Draft, he was like considered almost like a mid-card guy at Raw with the other two Shield guys. Like he wasn't doing nothing.
Right.
He wins Money in the Bank and wins the championship. Like, wow. I mean, that was a shock that he walked in and like boom. Like, wow.
Yeah, so looks like these two guys are going at it. I'm not sure if they're going to keep these two guys apart till WrestleMania. I don't see how they can actually do that. But maybe you see Baron Corbin winning the Intercontinental title, which I would not mind at all.
WrestleMania, he debuted and he won the Giant Battle Royal, Memorial Battle Royal, and then this year he could be the Intercontinental Champion. That'd be huge.
Yeah, huge milestone for Corbin. I can't wait for Bray's overrated ass to lose at WrestleMania. His character and overall look just isn't me. I shouldn't have been read. Let's move on to Mickie James versus Becky Lynch. Just block him.
This guy's crazy. I mean,
if he wasn't the order of the show, trust us. I don't follow him on Twitter because of what some of the shit that this man says. Trust me.
On Twitter.
Let's move on to Mickie James and Becky Lynch.
Wow, another classic. This could have been better than the pay-per-view match.
Yeah, it was really good. Way better than the pay-per-view match. Mickie James, gets the win over Becky Lynch by faking an arm injury and clocking her with a super kick into the face.
Chick kick. Was this match? Here's an interesting question. Not counting the outcome of that match, but just the match itself. Was this match better than Bayley and Charlotte?
I don't know. I mean, it was a good match, but I don't know.
I didn't think Bayley and Charlotte was that good on Raw. It was a good match, but I don't think it was a great match. I think this match with Mickie and Becky, just for some reason these two just click so well together. It's like great chemistry in the ring, and they just work perfectly off each other. I think that's the difference. I never really thought Bayley and Charlotte had ever had good chemistry in the ring, really.
I would have to rewatch the match. Right now, I'm going to say no, but I would have to rewatch the match to actually really clearly think about it. But I mean, the Charlotte and Becky match was, Charlotte and Bayley match, I thought was really good. The elbow drop, the moonsault off the barrier, that was great.
Yeah, match, but I think Sasha and Charlotte have better chemistry, just like I think Sasha and Bayley have better chemistry.
Right.
You know, I just never thought that even in NXT. I think I remember this. They had a match in NXT too, and Charlotte won, I believe. I just never thought the match was that good. This is before Bayley started really getting popular. I just never really thought Bayley and Charlotte ever had really great matches together. I mean, they're good, but they just, to me, they don't come across as great rivals.
Right, I understand. I feel you. Let's get to the main event of the night, where Bray Wyatt was originally supposed to face John Cena one-on-one, but AJ Styles pretty much put his rematch clause in the on the line as well, so it made it a triple threat match. Man, this main event was awesome. Before the main event actually started, Luke Harper attacked Bray Wyatt before Bray Wyatt could get into the ring. Excuse me. So that's what makes me think maybe Luke Harper will be inserted into the Fatal 4-Way. I hope. I really do hope. What did you think of the match, Dave?
This match, like you guys said, I didn't tweet much during the match because I thought the match was really good. I was just enjoying it. I mean, this match is awesome. Luke Harper has a great super kick, I think, and I thought it was so smart. You even actually thought one of the Cena or AJ Styles was about to win the title. I mean, you really thought it was going to go down that way because the way they did this match, it was so well. I mean, I was like, oh boy, Cena's about to win the 17th championship. And I was like, oh wait, AJ's about to win. And then Bray out of nowhere beat Cena clean. And I was like, whoa. And I liked it. And then we get the whole Orton basically saying, I devote myself to you. I won't fight you. But I think it's going to turn. I mean, I think in the 9th hour, something's going to happen. And then you're going to see the RKO out of nowhere. And then it's going to really set it up.
Yeah, because, well, like, I'm looking on Twitter right now. Daniel Bryan says, I can't force Randy Orton to wrestle if he doesn't want to. So basically, he's saying, you know, that
if we want to go back in time, to remember when Vince McMahon won the Rumble, and he refused to wrestle and take this title shot, he said, actually, then whoever the last person in the Rumble was would get the title shot. So who was the one in the Rumble with him? Reigns? Was Reigns number 2?
Carmelo was in the WCW, not WWE. It would be Roman Reigns.
Yeah, so that's what they did. Remember the whole Shawn Michaels thing when they did that whole thing with him, and he's like, yeah, the rules in the WWE rule book is if the number one contender cannot do his obligations, and the last person in the Rumble would get the spot. So I'm just saying that's how they originally had it back then, which I'm sure they won't go back to that. But I'm just saying that was what they did way back when in '98.
Right, yeah. I understand. Yeah. So looks like we're gonna see a fatal 4-way for the number one contender next week to face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. They haven't announced who it's going to be, but if I would have to say off the top of my head, I would throw AJ Styles, maybe Cena. It's a battle royal, so that makes it even more believable for Luke Harper to win it. Makes it even more believable for Luke Harper to win, to pull off an upset, because he's not beating anybody, he's not pinning anyone, not making anybody look bad. So a battle royal is more believable, I think. Yeah, that makes more sense. Wow, it's gonna be interesting to see. Hopefully, he's actually in it. So it'll be what, Styles, Harper. Cena. Who would be the other guy?
I would think Miz, Ziggler, maybe Corbin again. I bet you could continue the feud with Corbin and Ambrose.
Or maybe Corbin's announced to be in it, and then Ambrose takes him out.
Yeah, I mean, I could see something where Corbin's gonna win it, and then Ambrose comes out and just gets eliminated or something.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting.
No, that makes more sense. Corbin costs Ambrose the title because how Ambrose cost him the title.
Right. So next week's going to be interesting. Next week we got a possible title, women's title match between Naomi and Alexa Bliss. We have Natalya versus Nikki Bella in a Falls Count Anywhere match. We have the number 1 contender for the title for Bray at WrestleMania. And then whatever happens on Raw. I'm not really sure what's going to happen on Raw. And that's always kind of a toss-up. But SmackDown, it seems like SmackDown, you kind of already know what's going to happen ahead of a week ahead of time. So you kind of
we've been saying that for weeks and months probably. Now he's trying to re-say it.
Right. So
Urban is what Reigns should be. We've been saying that for months and months.
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, we want to thank the total of 46 viewers tonight on Valentine's Day. Thank you everybody for showing up, popping in here, saying hello. Thank you for all the hearts. Thank you everybody. Ed, I owe you one. I slacked so hard on those giveaways. So I owe you. I need to get you your giveaway. I still have your address. I just need to get off my lazy ass and mail it to you. Also, I have another giveaway when I hit 100,000 hearts on Periscope. I will not slack off like I did with Ed. I will definitely send that one out to you. It'll be a surprise. So you're not worried. That makes me know that you're a true fan and you're not just here for your giveaways. So I appreciate that very, very much.
We're really close to 100,000 too.
Yeah, so when we get 100,000 hearts, we'll do another giveaway. Maybe I was thinking maybe WrestleMania, kind of do a big show after WrestleMania. Maybe do another giveaway. Do maybe another call-in show. Have some people call in, give their thoughts and opinions on WrestleMania. But that's for WrestleMania. I gotta get I want to do a better call-in system instead of having y'all call on the computer, calling via phone and stuff like that. It'd be a lot better for us, for everybody to hear. Next week we'll be live right after SmackDown Live, of course. 9:30. 10:30. What is it? 10 Eastern. Yeah, 10 Eastern. Yeah. 10:30 Eastern. We're usually live. We'll have Justin next week. He was busy tonight. He went to the rodeo that's going on here in San Antonio, so couldn't make it tonight. I should unleash my WrestleMania wisdom. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be great. I can't wait to hear that. So we do appreciate everybody popping in here on Valentine's Day. I know a lot of people are busy or some people don't even believe in Valentine's Day, so we appreciate everybody popping in here.
I don't believe it. I think it's stupid.
Right, so yeah. A lot of people do. What is Karl Malone's wrestling record? I have no clue. 1-0. I think he wrestled.
No, he lost. He lost to Dennis Rodman and Hogan, remember?
Right, he did.
Or did they win? Did they win that match?
It was so long ago. I mean, that's when WWE was just kind of going down the shithole when they had
him. Versus Malone and DDP.
Yeah, when you have NBA players wrestling, I mean, it's different for WWE because it's once a year, but they had these guys.
You know what's crazy about that year? That's the same year that Rodman and it was the Bulls? Was it the Bulls? Yeah, it was the Bulls and the Jazz and the bad guy beat in the finals.
Yeah.
That played out on a pay-per-view, and then it actually played out in the court, too.
Yeah, WCW was all about them ratings, and that's how they try to get them with NBA players. That's all they cared about. But that's a different note on a different day.
They did them, too.
We'll be back next week live, and then we won't have no pay-per-views to review until March the 5th, and then on to WrestleMania. So hopefully – we don't want to see that. We don't see LeBron wrestle. Hopefully next week, Raw will start picking up, start being a little bit better. SmackDown's been delivering solid the last couple of weeks, so we don't have to worry about SmackDown. So we appreciate everybody.
Even if SmackDown did have a bad show, I don't think no one would complain too much about it. It's like, oh, they're due.
Right. So we appreciate it. Remember, hit those hearts, hit those follows. We appreciate all the replay viewers as well. We'll be back next week. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in. We'll be back next week. Thank you, everybody.